Hello. I was going to jump on here and just make a short little video with a little advice on some LDN. If maybe you're having issues with some side effects or LDN's not agreeing with you, this is something that might be able to help you out. It helped me out. I'll start this video by stating I'm not a doctor, I'm not a pharmacist. I'm just an LDN user, and this has been my experience with LDN, and I learned through my own trial and error, and thought maybe it'd help you out. I've talked to some other people, and the same thing has helped them out, so I don't think it's only unique to me. But maybe you haven't heard of it or tried it, and if you're having some issues, I don't think it'd hurt you to give it a try. Now, I'm taking LDN for an autoimmune disorder, which was Hashimoto's. And it's really helped me out. Feel great. Probably been doing it about 2.5 years now. And I'm having no issues. Daily, I take it daily. But I started out on about the low dose where they usually start you out, 1.5 milligrams. And I did that for a while. I did that about 2 weeks. I had the usual side effects they warn you about, the vivid dreams. I had a little bit of loss of appetite, some slight headaches. But after about 2 weeks, it filtered out, and I started feeling pretty good. And that went on for about a month after that 2 weeks. So a month and a half, started feeling pretty good. And then some of those side effects started coming back. Now, my side effects with it were mainly the headaches. That was my big thing. That everything else I could kind of live with. A lot of people talk about the vivid dreams. I like those. I don't get them as much anymore now that I've been on it for a while, but I didn't count that as a bad side effect. In fact, I enjoyed those. But after being on it for so long, then I noticed those headaches and that loss of appetite start coming back. So I was like, well, I probably need to go up on my dosage. So I went up to, 2, and same thing. Then I felt better for about a month and a half, and then the side effects came back. Well, so I was like, all right, well, I need to change my dosage, which I did. So I kept on going up 0.5 milligrams. And what I noticed was every time I changed my dosage, I felt great for, about a month and a half, 3 weeks, month and a half. And then side effects came back. Well, then I worked my way up to what they call your max. They want you at is 4.5. And I got to there, and then same thing. I felt great, and a month and a half, the side effects came back. So I was like, well, I don't know what's going on with this. And I just stuck it out. I thought, maybe this is just a phase. You got to go through with it, because I've read that sometimes it'll take you a couple months. And I did it. But the side effects didn't go away, and they kind of got worse. So then I was thinking, I always felt better after adjusting my dosage. So I was up at 4.5 and stayed there for a while. So I said, well, let me come back down. So I went from 4.5, and I said, I'm going to go down a milligram. And I went down to 3.5. And sure enough, all the side effects went away. But again, after a month and a half, they came back. So my brain was telling me, hey, each time you change your dosage, you feel good. So I just started skipping. I started skipping around my dosage, just daily adjusting it. So I would go from 3.5 one night. The next night, I take 4.5. And the pattern I got into eventually was going high, going low, back and forth. So one night I'll take 1.5. The next night I'll take 3.5. Then I'll take 2. And then I'll go up to 3 and back to 1.5 and just randomly up and down. And once I started doing that, all the side effects went away. Have felt perfect on it. And I was like, wow, that's pretty neat. So I got online and I shared this with some other people. And some people who were dealing with side effects said, hey, well, I'll give that a try. But some other people said, yes, I do the same thing and it's helped me. So I don't know what it is. In doing my research, I read something that you wanted to keep your system kind of in flux. And that was the secret with LDN, was not being in a constant pattern, a predictable dosage that your body gets used to. Now, I don't know if this is true for everybody or just some people, but it was stating that by keeping your system in constant flux and adjusting, it helps the LDN to work better. So I've been doing it now probably almost just shy of a year, 10, 11 months. And I'm a daily user. Now, I know some people will that stay on a constant dose. They say, well, I just go so long and then I take a day off. Or I take it Monday through Friday and I skip it on the weekends and then I resume it on Monday. It's probably kind of the same system as me, but because you're adjusting it, your body gets used to it, you take yourself off of it, you get back on. But I don't like that idea of skipping the dose because I feel like you're not, your body's not getting that. I think it'd be better to take it daily for what it does for your system. And when I'd mentioned this online, one user had told me what he learned to do, and it's kind of the same thing. He cycles it, he says. So he goes 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 4.5, up to, he goes up to 5. He goes up to 5, and once he gets to 5, he starts the cycle over again. Then he goes back to 1.5, and each day he just cycles up and starts over. And he said that's worked for him. And it's kind of like what I'm doing, but he's got just more of a system. But it seems to work for him. So I just wanted to put that out there. I don't know why it works. I don't know the science behind it. I know it works for me, and apparently it works for some others. So if you're having some issues with your LDN, I don't think it would hurt to give it a try. It's worked for me. I know that some people say, and I've read, that if you, and when I was reading about, why this might work or why not, some people say, hey, if you take that same dose every day, you need to take a break, especially if you start feeling kind of, what they say, kind of lethargic or depressed or something, you're just not right. You're like, I just feel kind of blah. They said you need to go in or take a break 1 or 2 days, and then you can resume. And the reason they stated this was because apparently that LDN, it blocks those opioid receptors. And so if you take it daily at the same dose, you can get, like they call residue buildup on those receptors. And if it gets too built up, you're blocking the release of those endorphins, and that's what is causing. It's causing a longer extent. Now, you use the LDN to temporarily block the production of those endorphins for a 2 to 4 hour period, and then your body kicks that endorphin production into high gear. But it said, if you take it over and over, and it'll kind of clog those receptors, so you're not getting full endorphin release. So they said, just take a day or 2 off, and your system will clean out, and it'll clean off those receptors, and you can resume use. But when I was reading about this switching up your doses, it says it kind of does that, because you go high dose and then you're going down to a lower dose. And between doing that, for some reason, it keeps those receptors, those dot ports, clean. So Like I said, I don't know the science behind it totally. I know it works for me and it's worked for others. And if you're having an issue, maybe it'll work for you. If you've done this or you do something similar, please leave comments and let me know. If this is the first time you've heard of this and you give it a try and it works, after a while, come back and leave me some comments and let me know. And we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I'll help some people out and we'll see how it goes. Have a good day.